So John, tell me about when you do readings, how that works. How do you see things around the person? Do you hear things? When you're doing a mediumistic reading, how does the information come to you? What do you become aware of?
Well, first of all, I put myself out of the way,
Right.
all right? So it's not about me, it's about spirit and the person that I'm reading for. I will hear, see, and feel the information. I may hear names or a street name. I may see words. And I always, when I'm working with an audience, clairvoyantly, I'll see things above people's heads. It could be images, symbols, and words. And I always tell my audience, too, I'll say, for instance, I see the name Michael being written above your head, and people will look, and I'm like, no, I see it, not you, you know? So, or I will feel maybe the age of a person, how they pass, their illness. I don't take on their illness, I'll just feel, and that's where they blend with me. So I will hear, see, and feel the information.
So all those senses are involved. You're hearing, you're seeing, you're feeling. It's a lot of different modalities.
Sometimes taste.
And smells.
Right,
too.
I don't like butter rum lifesavers, so sometimes they'll pop a lifesaver in my mouth. I'll be like, they like butter rum lifesavers, or I'll taste a certain coffee.
Or smell like a cigarette smoke or something.
Absolutely,
like
or
that.
I'll smell the cologne or the lilacs that the
Yeah.
mom loves. So it's, you know what gets me too, Brian, about this work is I'm always fascinated how it works. So in my head, when I'm given a message, I'm in my head like, wow, this is good. And I never take the credit for it. I'm just the medium, the messenger. I give those on the other side the credit for them to give. They're the ones that are really giving me the information. So I give them the credit.
Well, sure, but you deserve a lot of credit because I don't see those things except occasionally, and I don't plan for it. So sometimes I'm with a person,
Right.
and I'll smell the cigarette or I'll
Right.
hear something. But I don't control that. It's just there. You have an abundance of these stimuli coming, and you're reading that and giving people specific messages.
Right.
That's a real talent. You've had this since you were a child.
Well,
It's not just everybody.
I really believe that we're all one big psychic antenna, and mine just happens to be turned up. I was born this way, and I learned how to harness this ability through a lot of training.
Yeah, so I think you need to take credit for
Okay.
that because there are not a lot of people who can do that.
Thank you.
Love has to be balanced.
Thank you. And when watching you work also, Brian, how do you know when someone is ready for a regression?
Well, often people come to me
Right.
because they have symptoms.
Sure.
So someone may have a phobia,
Sure.
say a fear of water or heights or something like that, and they don't know where that connects in the current life. They have no history in this life of being frightened by heights or water or something like that. Then I know it's a past life.
Okay.
And past life therapy is very effective in getting rid of these phobias, fears, and also physical symptoms. They may
Right.
have a back pain or neck pain, and there's no real reason for it in this lifetime, and we find the cause in the past life. And then just like traditional therapy, when the origins, the cause, the trauma is discovered, the symptoms disappear
Amazing.
and people get better. So I know by how they present, and that's my training, psychiatric and
Right.
therapy, just like you have it in the mediumistic. We've done that for decades.
Decades.
Me a little bit longer,
Right.
being,
Not much.
being the older one, yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
should everyone do a regression? Should they do it for fun, or should they, if it's because they really feel that they have an issue?
Well, you know my wife, Carol,
Yes.
and she calls people who come without symptoms, but
Right.
they're interested in regression, past life tourists.
Okay.
See, they want
very
to.
clever.
That's nice, yeah. They want to experience it. I think that everybody can benefit because even if you don't have a symptom, you find out that you never die
Right.
because you're never born. You existed before, you exist afterwards, and then we're with the soul.
Eternal.
The nature, our real nature.
Yeah.
So everybody can benefit because it changes how you feel grief, loss, separation, death.
It's true.
Everyone can benefit to some extent, but those with symptoms, they benefit even more. And then that's where our work blends because
Right.
you're getting messages from the other side, from people who are no longer in physical body, but they're still there, they're still existing, they're
Right.
transmitting information back. You're smelling, tasting, seeing, all of this, and that helps the person too.
Yeah.
So the work that we do, it really helps with grief, with loss, with separations, and that's where our work really blends together, I think, in a beautiful way.
And what I believe too also is that although we may have many lifetimes too, that this life is very important also, that this life is very important. And is it true, and I think it is, that we come back with the same people?
Well, I think so. We come back
Soul
with
groups.
soul groups, right?
Right.
Soul mates, soul
Right.
families, yeah. Many of the same people again and again because they know how to push our buttons.
Right.
this is where we learn,
Yeah.
how we overcome karma and debts from past lives, things like that.
Well, I was very lucky because I asked you to do a regression on me, because every time you do your group regressions, and I'm a somnolist, I just fall asleep, and everyone wakes up with these stories. Oh, I went back to here, I went back there, and I'm like, what happened? So you offered to do one privately for me, and sure enough, if you remember, we went back, and I was an older man. I was sick in bed, and my 14-year-old daughter was with me.
Your mother. Right?
That was my mother in that lifetime, and so my daughter in that lifetime is my mother in this lifetime. So she was taking care of me in that lifetime, and look what happened in this lifetime. I ended up taking care of her.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So,
beautiful balance.
and my mom used to say to me, I'm one of 5 kids, there's something different. I don't know about my Johnny. There's something different about him and then the rest of them. Not that I was the favorite, but I was different. So I'm sure, even though she's passed, I still miss her, but I'll know I'll see her again. And maybe we'll do this all over again.